Be prepared. Tomorrow isn't just another day. While most people will wake up thinking it's an ordinary Sunday, the universe is about to deliver one of the most serious cosmic interventions of the entire year. And if you've been feeling an unusual heaviness in your chest, or like something is about to break wide open, keep watching, because there's a specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and I'll reveal it later in this video. What's coming tomorrow is a triple conjunction that only happens once every few years, a moment when three planets align in such a tight formation that they literally form a straight line across the pre-dawn sky. But this isn't just a beautiful astronomical event, this is a reality check, capital R, capital C, the kind that strips away illusions, forces conversations you've been avoiding, and demands that you finally face the truth you've been running from. And here's what nobody is telling you. 3 specific zodiac signs are standing directly in the crosshairs of this cosmic reckoning. If you're one of them, there is no hiding. There is no escaping. This transit is going to find you, whether you're ready or not. But before we get to which signs are about to experience the most intense pressure, you need to understand what's actually happening in the sky tomorrow, because this goes way deeper than you think. Tomorrow morning, look east. The sky is sending you a message. While you're sleeping tonight, something extraordinary is taking shape in the eastern sky. Around 30 minutes before sunrise tomorrow, if you step outside and look toward the horizon, you'll witness something most people will completely miss. 3 planets, Saturn, Mars, and Mercury, will be forming a tight diagonal line, so close together you could cover all 3 with just 2 fingers held at arm's length. This isn't just a random alignment. These 3 celestial bodies are merging their energies in a way that creates massive friction, intense pressure, and unavoidable confrontation. And the wildest part? This cosmic geometry is happening in the sign of Aries, the warrior, the initiator, the sign that refuses to back down from a fight. But here's where it gets personal. At exactly 9:20 in the morning Central European Time, Mercury, the planet of your mind, your words, your decisions, will collide with Saturn, the planet of consequences, limitations, and harsh reality. And then, just hours later at 7:40 in the evening, Mercury will slam into Mars, igniting a potentially explosive release of all that built-up tension. This is what astrologers call a stellium, a pile-up, a cosmic traffic jam where multiple planets occupy the same narrow strip of the zodiac, amplifying each other's energy until something has to give. And tomorrow, what's giving way are the illusions you've been clinging to, the excuses you've been making, and the reality you've been refusing to see. Your mind is about to hit a brick wall, and that's actually protection. Let me ask you something. Have you been moving forward lately with total confidence, absolutely certain about your plans, your goals, your direction? Have you been feeling like everything is finally clicking into place, like success is just around the corner, like you've got it all figured out? If so, tomorrow might feel like someone just slammed the brakes. Hard. You might wake up with crystal clear certainty about what you need to do, only to discover that the universe has other plans. Doors that seemed wide open suddenly slam shut. People who promise support mysteriously become unavailable. Projects that felt like sure things hit unexpected obstacles. And your first instinct will be frustration, anger even, because when Mercury, your quicksilver mind that wants to move fast, decide faster and communicate immediately, crashes into Saturn, it feels like hitting a brick wall at full speed. Your thoughts slow down, your words carry weight you didn't expect. Every decision suddenly seems loaded with consequences you can't ignore. But here's what the cosmos is actually doing. It's protecting you. The ancient Sabian symbol for the exact degree where this conjunction occurs speaks of a large woman's hat with streamers blown by an east wind. A protective covering for the developing mind, shielding vulnerable thoughts from harsh elements and premature exposure. Translation. Saturn isn't blocking you to punish you. It's blocking you because you're not ready yet, because the foundation isn't solid. Because if you moved forward right now with the plans you've been making, you'd be building on sand instead of stone. And Saturn, the master architect of the zodiac, refuses to let that happen. The fog finally clears, but the truth might sting. For the past week, you've probably felt like you're moving through a thick fog, confused, directionless, like you're trying to take action, but nothing quite lands the way you expected. That's because Mars, the planet of drive and action, has been tangled up with Neptune, the planet of illusion and dissolution, in the early degrees of Aries. When the warrior meets the mystic, you get exhausted soldiers swinging swords blindly in the mist. You get massive energy expenditure with minimal results. You get people convinced they're moving forward when they're actually walking in circles. And worst of all, you get actions based on fantasies instead of facts. But tomorrow, that fog burns away. When Mercury locks into Saturn, it's like someone just turned on the brightest, harshest fluorescent lights in a room where you thought everything looked fine in the dim glow. Suddenly, you see the cracks in the foundation, the inconsistencies in the story, the holes in the plan, the reality you were too optimistic or too delusional to acknowledge before. And it's not gentle. Saturn doesn't do gentle. Saturn does truth. Cold, hard, undeniable truth. The kind that makes you realize the person you've been trusting has been lying. The kind that shows you the project you've poured months into has fatal flaws. The kind that forces you to admit you've been avoiding a necessary conversation because you're afraid of what it might reveal. This is the reality check, and if you've been living in fantasy, building castles in the sky, or making plans based on wishful thinking rather than actual evidence, tomorrow is going to hurt. But pain isn't the enemy. Delusion is. And Saturn is here to make sure you're operating from truth, not hope. Words become weapons. Handle them carefully. Here's where tomorrow gets dangerous. After Mercury absorbs the heavy, sobering reality check from Saturn, it immediately collides with Mars. And when the mind meets the warrior, when thought merges with aggression, when words carry the sharp edge of blades, you get explosive communication. Tomorrow evening, conversations could turn confrontational in seconds. Arguments that have been simmering beneath the surface will erupt. The truth you've been holding back will demand to be spoken, and it won't come out softly. It will come out like a verbal punch to the gut. And here's the thing, you'll feel justified because Saturn just showed you the harsh reality, and now Mars is giving you the courage, or the anger, to finally say what needs to be said. The problem? Mars doesn't care about diplomacy. Mars doesn't consider long-term consequences. Mars just wants to win, to conquer, to cut through the bullshit with brutal honesty. So tomorrow, especially in the evening hours, you need to be incredibly careful with your words, because what you say under this transit doesn't just evaporate into the air, it becomes a binding contract. It creates consequences that will ripple through your relationships for weeks, possibly months to come. If you need to have a difficult conversation, have it. If you need to set a boundary, set it. If you need to speak your truth, speak it. But do it with precision. Do it with intention. Do it with full awareness that every word carries the weight of Saturn's consequences and the sharpness of Mars' blade. 3 signs are about to face their unavoidable reckoning. Now here's what I promised to tell you, which 3 signs cannot hide from this cosmic reality check. And if you're one of these signs, or if you have prominent placements in these signs in your birth chart, the next 48 hours are going to test you in ways you haven't been tested in years. The signs standing in the direct line of fire are the cardinal signs being hit by the Aries stellium, Aries, Cancer and Libra. These aren't random. These are the archetypes being forced into evolution, whether they like it or not. Aries, the crucible of identity. If you're an Aries, this entire cosmic drama is happening directly in your first house, the house of self, identity, and physical body. You are ground zero, the impact site, the absolute epicenter of this reality check. For the past week, you've probably felt exhausted, drained in ways that don't make logical sense. That's the Mars-Neptune fog, your ruling planet confused, scattered, moving through molasses. But tomorrow, when your ruler collides with Saturn, you're going to feel something different. Blockage, intense, frustrating, brick wall blockage. Every instinct in your body wants to charge forward. Aries doesn't do patience. Aries doesn't do slow. But Saturn is forcing you to pause, to plan, to build foundations before you leap. And it's infuriating because you can feel the fire inside you, the drive, the urgency, but the world is demanding you slow down. Here's your reality check. You can't brute force your way through life anymore, the version of you that used to just take action and figure it out later. That version doesn't work in this new chapter. Saturn is demanding maturity. It's demanding that you marry your incredible courage with actual discipline, that you back your bold words with structured follow-through. Tomorrow, you might face a moment where someone questions your authority, challenges your decisions, or forces you to prove you're not just all talk. Don't lash out. Don't react defensively. Instead, show them, and yourself, that you've evolved beyond impulsive aggression into strategic leadership. The universe isn't punishing you. It's forging you into something stronger, but you have to survive the heat of the crucible first. Libra, the mirror of relationship reality. If you're a Libra, this stellium is occupying your 7th house, the house of partnerships, marriages, contracts, and one-on-one dynamics. And because these planets are opposing your sun or rising sign, you're not experiencing this energy internally. You're experiencing it through other people. For the past week, your closest relationships have probably felt confusing. Maybe your partner has been distant, unavailable, or strangely evasive. Maybe a business partner isn't holding up their end of the deal. Maybe someone you trusted is showing sides of themselves you've never seen before. That's Neptune's fog in your relationship sector. But tomorrow, the fog clears, and you're going to see your partnerships with brutal, unavoidable clarity. And some of what you see might genuinely hurt. Here's your reality check. You've been sacrificing too much. Libra's natural instinct is to keep the peace, to compromise, to maintain harmony, even at your own expense. But Saturn is drawing a line in the sand tomorrow, saying, enough. You might discover that the person you've been bending over backward for has been taking advantage of your flexibility, or that the relationship you've been working so hard to save is fundamentally imbalanced. Or that you've been so focused on being fair to everyone else that you forgot to be fair to yourself. Tomorrow, especially in the evening when Mercury hits Mars, you might finally snap. You might say the thing you've been holding back for months. You might set the boundary you've been too scared to enforce. And it won't be pretty, it won't be diplomatic, but it will be necessary. The universe is asking you to redefine what partnership means. It's not about keeping everyone happy. It's about mutual respect, equal responsibility, and relationships where both people show up fully. If someone in your life isn't meeting that standard, tomorrow is when you finally stop pretending it's okay. Cancer, the professional pressure point. If you're a Cancer, this stellium is hammering your 10th house, the house of career, reputation, public standing, and authority. And because it's forming a harsh square to your sun or rising sign, you're feeling immense pressure from multiple directions at once. For the past week, your professional life has probably felt like chaos. Maybe you've been working twice as hard for half the results. Maybe you've questioned whether you're even in the right career. Maybe you've felt like no matter what you do, it's never quite good enough. That's Mars-Neptune scrambling your career sector, making every effort feel futile. But tomorrow, when Saturn enters the equation, the pressure intensifies. But it also crystallizes. You're going to see exactly where your professional foundation is weak, where your reputation is vulnerable, where your authority is being challenged. Here's your reality check. Your emotions are getting in the way of your effectiveness. Cancer leads with feeling, with intuition, with care. Those are incredible strengths. But in the professional arena, especially tomorrow, you need cold logic and structural discipline. You might face a situation where a superior questions your methods, where a project you care deeply about gets harsh criticism, or where you're forced to defend your competence in a way that feels deeply personal. And because you're Cancer, it will feel personal. It will hurt. But Saturn's message is clear. Separate your professional performance from your emotional identity. You can be incredibly caring and still set firm boundaries at work. You can be intuitive and still follow structured processes. You can be sensitive and still command respect. Tomorrow, when Mercury and Mars collide in your career sector, you might have to have a difficult conversation with a boss, assert yourself in a meeting, or take a stand on a professional issue. Don't let emotion cloud your judgment. Channel that Cancer tenacity into professional resilience. Show them you're not just emotionally intelligent, you're strategically brilliant. The hidden gift inside the pressure. I know this all sounds intense, heavy, maybe even scary, but here's what most astrology content won't tell you. This transit is a gift disguised as a challenge. When Mercury conjoins Saturn at the 8th degree of Aries, it activates the Sabian symbol of protection and spiritual guidance. The harsh reality check you're receiving tomorrow isn't punishment. It's the universe preventing you from making a massive mistake. It's stopping you from building on a weak foundation. It's saving you from consequences you can't even see yet. And when Mercury and Mars meet at the 9th degree, they activate the symbol of the crystal gazer, the awakening of holistic vision, the ability to see the bigger picture with absolute clarity. After passing through Saturn's disciplining checkpoint, your mind emerges with the power to see the future trajectory with startling accuracy. So the progression is actually perfect. First, Neptune creates the fog of confusion. Then, Saturn forces you to stop, assess, and build proper foundations. Finally, Mercury and Mars give you the clarity and courage to take precise, effective action based on truth rather than illusion. By tomorrow evening, after you've survived both conjunctions, you'll possess something you didn't have a week ago, the combination of harsh realism and strategic vision. You'll know exactly what needs to change, and you'll have the courage to change it. After the storm, the grounding of Taurus season. And here's the final piece of good news. This intense pressure isn't permanent. Just hours before the Mars-Saturn conjunction tomorrow, the Sun leaves Aries and enters Taurus. The cosmic energy shifts from volatile cardinal fire to stable fixed earth. Taurus season is about grounding, about building slowly and sustainably, about tangible results and material security. After surviving tomorrow's reality check, you'll have the stable ground you need to actually implement the lessons you've learned. The reality check Saturn delivers tomorrow is designed to clear out the weak structures so Taurus season can help you build strong ones. The harsh truths revealed tomorrow become the solid foundation for the next month of growth. So yes, tomorrow might be uncomfortable. It might force difficult conversations, reveal painful truths, and demand you face reality you've been avoiding. But it's not destroying you. It's reconstructing you. It's replacing fantasy with fact, impulsiveness with strategy, and false confidence with earned authority. What to do right now? Before tomorrow hits, here's what you need to do. Get brutally honest with yourself tonight. Where have you been living in fantasy? What plans are based on hope rather than evidence? Which conversations have you been avoiding because you're scared of the truth? Write it down, all of it, because tomorrow Saturn is going to force you to confront these things anyway. Better to acknowledge them consciously tonight than have them blindside you tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, if you can, go outside before sunrise. Look east. Watch those 3 planets form their tight line across the sky. Let the visual reminder sink in. The universe is aligning forces to help you see clearly, to help you build correctly, to help you evolve beyond who you were into who you're meant to become. When the pressure hits tomorrow, and it will, remember this: pressure creates diamonds. Saturn isn't your enemy. It's your teacher, your architect, your long-term protector. And the reality check you receive tomorrow, as harsh as it might feel in the moment, is exactly what you need to build a future that actually lasts. The fog is clearing, the truth is emerging, and 3 signs, Aries, Cancer, and Libra, are about to discover that sometimes the universe loves you enough to stop you from making a mistake. Tomorrow, that love arrives wrapped in discipline, consequence, and unavoidable reality. Are you ready to face it? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below, especially if you're one of the 3 signs facing this reality check tomorrow. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.